Welcome, Namaste. Welcome to Satsang this evening. Just checking you can hear me okay online? Yep. Good. So tonight I just wanted to dive into a deep and rich experience of what we really are. And I thought that we would do a meditation maybe for 20-25 minutes because we can all begin to change how we're coming to satsang. We can all begin to, the fundamental shift that happened for me was beginning to just show up for this, beginning to release the need to get something out of this time, to understand something deeper than we have done before, to try to get something from this, try to get somewhere during this time. Can we switch now? Just take a breath now and decide that we're just going to show up. We're just going to be here, and we'll take some time just to meditate. And yes, you know, insights may happen, epiphanies may happen, but we can just let those come to us. We don't have to strive hard. So with your eyes closed if you want to, or open, whichever you feel most comfortable with. Let's just spend some time here together, just being here together. And we're just, whatever thoughts are going on in our mind, whatever activity is going on within the emotions, the thought process, can we let our mind and body just be as they are in this moment? Can we let them rest as they are completely? We can dive into this deep and rich stillness and silence that is present here already. So this meditation isn't going to get us anywhere. It's more of a celebration of where we already are. It's more of a being present to what is present here already. Can we set aside our goals, our spiritual goals for now, for a few minutes? Can we release any need to get anywhere just for now? Wherever we feel we need to get to anyway is a figment of our imagination. Awakening is here and now. This present moment is all there is. What does it feel like when you simply show up, when you're just here? What does it feel like to just be present here with us? To not be a work in progress just for a few moments. Where the only thing that you're certain of is the fact that you're here. Just resting in this silent stillness. checking out how it feels to have already arrived and no longer be traveling. So just being here, and if your attention wanders off with some thoughts, it's okay, just bringing it back, just being present. Attention is going to wander at some point to a sound in your environment, to some thoughts, a sensation in the body, to your breathing, to these words. Just allowing it to come back to this moment here, just being here. How does your body feel when you're just here? No more steps to take. Your body and mind will continue to evolve and deepen and unfold from this place of already completeness. You don't have anything to prove to yourself or anyone. Just resting here with me. Not needing anything for this moment. Not reaching for anything. Nothing on your to-do list. There's no destination. You're already here. Enjoying how it feels to just be here. To not be racing ahead to some future moment that we imagine will be better than this. And diving deeper into this moment right now. Right now you are already free. Just aware, just here. Present. The simplest way to be is also the most effective. celebrating this moment. This moment here is enough. It's rich and deep and whole. And there is everything we need here. Just allowing yourself finally to stop traveling. You're not a work in progress. You are already the self. You are already free. Everything else is our vivid imagination only. This long-standing dream of separation that we're simply stepping out of here. Just resting here. There's a wholeness here, a completion. Having arrived and never left. There is contentment and quiet, fulfillment and peace. I'm just here. Just being here. Your very existence is already enough. You are already enough. There's nothing that you can do to improve the perfection that you already are. Just returning to that natural state. So whenever you're ready, if you want to, you can open your eyes if they're closed. And we'll bring this meditation to a close. And as we move into the rest of this satsang, let's see if we can just be here. Let's see if we can remain like this, even while our mind is active, even while our body is moving, even while we're conversing, listening, asking. Meditation isn't something that we do. It is something that we are. It is a way of being. Okay. So I will start by reading a couple of these questions. If you have a question that you'd like to ask online, feel free to raise your hand on Zoom. We'll take up to 4 questions. So this one says, "Hi Helen, I'm finding that in material sense, I have everything that a human could want. I have a lovely home, money in the bank, a lovely partner and wonderful children. I am blessed and truly grateful for all of these gifts. Despite all of this, or maybe because I have everything I could desire, I feel completely overwhelmed and out of my depth on a daily basis. When I step back and look at my life, like anyone, I have challenges and struggles, but essentially I have a good life. But I am struggling on a daily basis to keep my head above water. I feel stressed to the point where I want to explode with rage every day, and the slightest inconvenience seems like another mountain to climb. And I am tired of it, tired to the point where if I was offered a button to press, which would end my existence as this person, I would certainly consider it at the very least. Sometimes I think maybe I'm living the wrong kind of life, and maybe I should be on my own. But invariably, when I try this out, I see that I am about to give away and quickly come back to my senses. I see what I'm about to give away and quickly come back to my senses and my family. I don't know where to go from here. Every day the mind is a battleground, and I'm struggling to contain all of my anger and frustration inside, as I am desperate not to take it out on those I love. But equally, I cannot continue holding in so much self-imposed pain. It is tearing me apart. Do you have any suggestions? You have asked me to look at unworthiness previously, and I have been doing this, but the internal torment persists. Thank you." Okay. So if you're angry here about something, if you're struggling to cope and there's rage, you said here, you said anger, what is it that you want? And how are you going about getting it? Anger is, for me, a sure sign that you feel blocked from getting what you want out of life. And maybe the only switch that needs to happen now is, because I remember talking with you about unworthiness, and I saw that you got that, and I know that you understood that. And now the only switch that needs to happen for you is to begin to look for on the inside what you're trying to get from the outside world. So you have this good life and you have everything that you could want really in a material way, as you've said. What are you trying to get from those beings that you can begin to allow from the inside out? You know, when I first got on this pathway, I was in a very similar position to you. I had everything I could want. I had a good life. I had no reason at all to feel, no reason that I could see to feel how I felt, and it sank into a deep depression because I was trying to make my life give me the feelings I wanted to feel, and it didn't work. It never, ever does. Not for any length of time anyway. So what do you want? And what is the most intelligent way to get that? If I ask you right now what you want, would you be able to tell me? And let's start by how you want to feel. How do you want to feel? You don't want to feel as you're feeling right now, angry, full of rage, overwhelmed, in a great deal of pain. What do you want? If you ask all human beings this, eventually they will come back to this. I just want to be happy. I want to be peaceful and happy. I want to be safe. And how do we go about getting that? How do we go? Is it working for you, trying to get those feelings from the activities that you're doing, from the relationships that you have? Is that really working? And what happens when you begin to allow that to flow from the inside out? Where is the source of your happiness? And can you allow more of that to come from the inside out? So make a list. I would make a list if I were you of what you want to feel. Start with what you want to feel. And what is the most intelligent way to get that? Can you let that come? Does anything have to change in your life before you can feel that way? And it's okay that you feel this way, that life as such, even a good life, isn't satisfying you. That's the reason you're listening to these words and sent this question in, and that you're attending satsang. Nothing more than, and nothing less than a deep recognition of what you really are is going to satisfy you anyway here. Do you need anything to be happy? Do you need anything to change to feel free? And what happens when you allow these feelings to come from the inside out? Is it true you don't already have peace, happiness, security, love? Is it true that those are really missing from your life? What if trying to get them from the outside in is making them seem absent? The very pursuing of them is what's making them seem absent from here. Peace, clarity, love and joy and all of that. Okay. One more. Hi, Helen. The family dog who was loved beyond measure was killed yesterday. He and I spent many hours together, and I saw him as an expression of the divine. I understand when I hear there is no death, but my beloved, beautiful friend has gone. How do we reconcile no death with the real felt loss? Whether you respond or not, thank you, Helen, for being a shining light. Well, I'll always respond. It just might take me a while to get to them because there's quite a few that come in. So how do we reconcile no death with real felt loss? So the sense of grief, the sense of loss is coming from this assumption that your beloved friend has gone, has disappeared, has left your life. The basis of all grief is the sense that something has changed, something has gone, or someone. in this case, your best friend, so to speak. But really, if we can challenge that, is he really gone? Actually, his physical form, his visible, perceptible, tangible, huggable aspect has gone. But is that all he is? If you're not only your body, then isn't the same true for everything? If you're not the form, then is your dog only the form? Is he really gone when the body's gone? You said here, I saw him as an expression of the divine. So what else of him remains still? If you challenge this assumption that he is gone, then you begin to feel better and you begin to reconnect with, just because the physical form has gone doesn't mean that your relationship with him has to come to an end. Yes, there is a change. And yes, you will miss the way that he showed up in the physical form, but that doesn't have to be painful or sad. It doesn't have to be an ending. It doesn't have to be a finality about it. What if this is your relationship evolving now here? Different way to think about it. You cannot really kill anything in truth. Nothing really dies. You can only notice that it's gone back into its invisible nature only. It was always invisible and visible, and now only invisible for a while. So if I were in your position, I would challenge this idea that he has gone, because that is the reason and the root of all of this pain. Yes, there's been a change, but has he really gone completely? A very unusual way to think about it, I know, but there's the answer. Hopefully it helps. So we have two questions here. So Elliot, when you're ready.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Thank you.
So my question kind of may have morphed because that first answer was like basically my question. The original question was, I watched a video that you posted recently that was about the body, and that was about belief systems that the person had about the body and how they might be disabling healing. I mean, that's not the right word, but I also have had lots of body stuff.
Yeah.
It's been a bit more about like the physicality of the body and wanting that to be different and not being happy because it's not different.
Yeah.
So I guess my original question was, is there any way you can help me to see where I might be stuck? But also I can see that I really believe that, well, I've experienced so much causeless peace in the last period of my life that I do have an experience that no object will provide me what I'm looking for. But there is also this belief that there's just a desire to live a big, beautiful life on top of being free.
Of course there is, right? Of course there is. Yeah. And that's what you came here for, to recognize your inherent freedom and then to have the best human experience also. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because they're actually the same thing.
Yeah.
So how you feel about your body, what feelings you have towards your body are really a reflection of how some part of you is feeling about yourself. So if our body isn't the way we would like it to be, it's showing us on some level we feel we're not the way we would like ourselves to be, where we're still criticizing or judging usually ourselves. My body here doesn't look like I want it to. It doesn't function like I want it to. It doesn't feel like I want it to, or maybe all of those. And And your body is a representation, a physical representation of you. It's like a totem or something, a figurehead, and it's going to reflect back to you what you think about yourself. So as you begin to really recognize your inherent wholeness and this causeless piece that you said, you'll begin to see places where you're still thinking from the old way. So how you're thinking and feeling about your body, the thoughts that come about it and the emotions that come about it will show you which way your egoic sense of self is still feeling about yourself. Some kind of sense that you're not there yet, you're not how you're supposed to be, or you're not already the best version of you. Something like that will be in there if you look deep inside. You might have already noticed it already.
Well, yeah, I mean, I mean, pretty much most of the thoughts and beliefs about my body are that it's not how it should be.
Yeah.
And about I definitely see that about myself as well.
Questioning that then, is that actually true? Do you actually know how you really are? Or are we listening to how mind says we are? You know, and if I'm sure that I'm not how I'm supposed to be, how is my body ever going to be how I want it to be? If it is a mirror image of me, it's got to keep showing me that I'm still traveling towards some imaginary version of me where I'm perfect, you know, or awakened or something like that, right?
Yeah. Well, and it makes sense. Like, how could I know how I'm supposed to be? Especially if I don't even know what I am, you know? Like,
And
it's
why are we so sure that we're not already how we want to be? Do we really actually know where we're really at in life if we stop listening to mind? What other reference point do we have for that? You know, because mind will always say you're not where you need to be, always. That's the only line it has, you know. It's a one-trick pony.
So is there anything specific you would recommend to like take a closer look at this? And I also just say that like a big part of, I have a lot of resistance to, it feels like there's a lot of work to be done, you know?
Yeah.
And in terms of looking at things even like that, also sometimes feeling like I can't do what needs to be done to break apart these patterns too comes up.
Even simpler than that, you can start with, am I actually seeing myself clearly? Just playing around with that question. Do I actually even know myself? Do I really know what I'm actually like? Like, do I even see my mind and body clearly anyway? Or am I seeing it through my thoughts about things? Because that's fundamental, isn't it? Like, all of my efforts to change myself into something better are coming from where I think I am and who I think I am right now, or how awakened I think I am, and all of that stuff, you know, where I am on the pathway and all of that. Is any of that actually fact, or is it fiction? Like, do I actually know anything about myself, really? Or have I been pursuing this whole self-improvement thing because mind said I should, you know? What if that's a false premise to start off with?
Which I know it is from experience. Like it seems to be somehow this double-sided coin where like I either know I am nothing, and there's nothing, all of the habits of pretending to be something drop away when I know I'm nothing. But on the other hand, there seems to be, it's like, you know, I'm like exercising the imagined character, and sometimes yeah. Okay.
So you could just sit with, do I really have to do that now? Do I have to be somebody?
It feels like I need to be somebody in order to have what I want. That's the false belief.
Has that ever worked though? Has that ever really worked?
No, it's never worked. No.
So do I really need to be somebody? now. And it's not like tell me the answer question. It's like a question that's going to motivate my way of being. You know, as I find myself sliding back into some separation, do I really need to be somebody? Is that really how I get what I want anyway? Has that been effective? And as you said, you know, same for me. It was, when I checked it out, it never worked, ever. Everything I was going to get was going to come to me anyway, without all the striving. So whichever question you feel, just to kind of check in every now and again, and do I have to make this frantic effort, or do I have to try to be something other than I am? Is it really such a terrible thing to just be whatever I am in this moment? And what starts to happen in my life when I do that more often? So if I'm embarrassed, I'll be embarrassed. If I'm irritated, I'll be irritated. If I'm peaceful, I'll be peaceful. You know, I'll forget how to should and shouldn't myself.
And also, when we are what we are, what we want comes naturally. Is that?
Because what we want more than anything is to feel the way we want to feel. And then our life begins to reflect that back to us. Has to. Right now, it's reflecting back, I'm not good enough, I'm not there yet. My body's not there yet. My bank account's not there yet. My relationships aren't there yet. Everything is reflecting back the fact that we don't think we're there yet. What if this is just me right now? This is me. My mind and body are just how they are. And it can't be wrong how they are, because it is the emptiness anyway. My body's made out of emptiness. My mind is made out of emptiness. Could anything really have gone wrong in that process? Just something to ponder on. It's not like hard work now, is it? It's more like, where's my kind of attention and my attitude at? Just sort of checking in during the day. Am I being a self-improvement DIY project, or am I just being?
Well, and every time I catch myself fixing myself, it's an opportunity for me to realize that I can let go of the project.
And no blame. Oh, I'm doing it again there. All right, I'll drop it there. Yeah. And life will show you the next place, and you, oh, yep, I'll drop it there as well. And you just get more and more of this causeless peace then. And you cannot be in deep peace and trying to get somewhere at the same time. It's just, it's not compatible, is it?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Helen.
You're very welcome. Very good question. Thank you. Lovely. Laurel?
Hi, Helen. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I think my question is so basic, and yet here it is.
No such thing. There's no such thing.
I know. It's just. I would imagine everybody is dealing with this at some level. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. The meditation that you just invited us to be, it's, to me, there's nothing more wonderful than to be that and to fully connect with that. So yet I hardly ever allow myself to do that. I'm able to. That's what I want to talk to you about. Why not? I believe my pattern is that I feel a low level in my life, no matter what's happening, but especially in stillness when there's not much happening. There's just a low level of anxiety, I'm going to call it.
Yeah.
And that low level of anxiety, I just have a lifetime of habitually turning to, reading, eating, things that will take my mind off of it. But I don't do the thing that is the actual healing thing to do, if that's the correct word. And I don't really understand why. I'm doing it.
Well, it happens to us all, as you said, initially. The thing that feels so nice to do, to just sit, whether my body's moving or not, I can just be sitting in my being. If I'm talking and walking and driving, all of that, I can just be letting my body and mind do whatever they want to do and whatever they're doing. If I'm not doing that, though, it's got to be from some sense, or not doing that as much as I want to, let's say. It's got to come from some sense that it's either unsafe to do that, to rest in the beingness, that you lose something if you do that, or that you don't deserve to do that, some kind of deep down. Probably both of those. When I looked inside my own self, there was something in there that said, you can't just sit in the silence and let life flow effortlessly and have everything come that you want. That's just, nobody has that life as a human being. Something like that. You've got to work at it. You've got to earn it. You've got to deserve peace or something like that. And it was one of the most challenging things to do, to just accept the natural state of any human being is causeless peace, as Eliot said. Quietness, silence, abundance of how we want to feel in here, abundance of the experiences we want out there, which are the same, really. So just probably, if you examine, sitting with this question, why don't I do that? Not from a mind perspective, why aren't you doing this? You should be doing this, like mind says, just from a different place. Why aren't I resting more? Like, I'm just kind of curious. Why don't I rest in the silence, the beingness more, with an open curiosity, just to see what that is? It'll probably be some sense that you don't deserve it or something like that. Mm-hmm. There's the anxiety. I'm resting in the natural state. I'm just being, but I can't really do this for too long or something's going to explode or go wrong or some disaster's going to happen, right? So I'm kind of resting, but I'm also anxious at the same time in that. Can you get a feel of it inside?
Yeah. I think I haven't yet been able to. It feels like to have both of those things happening at the same time. Feels like an either or to me. I feel like I'm either in that place of immense peace or I'm in this state of anxiety. Mm-hmm. And so what you're speaking about is being in the peace and witnessing the anxiety.
Yeah. And does it have to be one or the other? You see, mine says it's one or the other.
It doesn't have to be, but that's how I've set it up.
Well, now here's an opportunity to just gently allow that anxiety with also looking if there's something deeper there too. Your categories, obviously. So
yes. She says, do it.
We all have this. There's always going to be a good reason not to just be. There's always going to be something that we could cook up to have to fix first about ourselves or someone else or something, right? And in the end, it's like, can I just relax here and be myself no matter what's happening to my body and mind? Do I have to fix my body and mind and my life first and then just be? Or is it really the other way around? The more that I just be, the more that stuff kind of sorts itself out anyway. Because we're scared because we don't feel good enough and we can't quite seem to manage to get any better because we're starting from this flawed premise that we're not good enough. Because we can't seem to manage to be better than we are, we feel scared that something's going to come and hurt us or get us, and then we try even harder to be even better, and around it goes. This constant background of fear is pretty constant for all of us, isn't it? Usually by the time you get to this point.
Yeah.
But can you ever get to that place that we're trying to get to? Can you ever get to a place of worthiness if you're not really unworthy, if you never were?
Yeah, it's accepting. It's accepting the truth.
And also, yeah, also recognizing though that your mind is never going to get this. It's always going to it's always going to feel that you should be heading further down the road to some imaginary version of you in the future that is perfect, you know, something like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's okay, that's what mind does, but we don't have to keep chasing it down the road. Or probably we'll just, you know, relax more and more of your waking state, you'll just be here. And less day by day, you'll be trying to get somewhere. You'll just shift over gradually as you just relax into it more.
Yeah. Thank you. That's helpful. Thanks, Helen.
Thank you. Okay, so 2 questions. We'll take the 2 questions online. Any questions here? Nope. Okay, so Natasha, when you're ready.
Hi, Helen.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much. I just really think about asking questions and then I forget, like not forget, just the questions doesn't come to me. I mean, it just unravels itself. Just wanted to engage with you. I was sitting in this piece. I didn't feel like moving any, like doing anything, talking or anything. So when the situation arises, most of the time I'm in peace, in a very peaceful mood, and I'm noticing more and more that I'm in the moment, and I feel very peaceful in the moment. And then if something happens, I start questioning. But previously, when I wasn't questioning, when I didn't know about how to question, things would arise, and situations would happen, and then again it would go back to the peace again, without asking any question. But now recently things have started shifting and having some issues come up more and more, and I'm asking questions, but I don't seem to get any answer. No answers arise. It's mainly as if the peace is there, but I'm asking question, but I'm asking question in the peace. And then what am I saying? I don't even know. And then asking in the peace. Yeah, I'm asking question in the peace, and then no answers come or arise. And I'm just forgetting. I'm forgetting everything. I don't know. I'm so much in peace right now. I don't even feel like asking question. Oh, one thing. I remember you saying one time that to ask you asked the question, is there even a body or is there even a mind? And when I asked that question yesterday or the day before, it kind of unraveled everything. I just felt so good. I mean, that led me back to other questions, as if the peace that I felt after asking, is there a really body there or a mind, or even I'm talking to you, Helen, is there a Helen even? I mean, there is this, it's like a stage in front of me. Things are happening at this moment. Even, is there even a daughter or a husband I have? I mean, sometimes I don't know, but it was profound. I mean, I'm so thankful to you.
These are the kind of core assumptions that we have, right? That this is a body, and I have a mind, I have a body, and we kind of give agreement to those. But when we begin to question that, we begin to, the most relevant answer is this peace. When I ask a question and I get this peace, like, do I really have a body? Is this really a body? I might not have, or whatever question you're asking, I might not have any thought answers, but my life and my experience will be the answer. So if I'm questioning some belief that's showing up as a negative emotion or a situation in my life, then I might not have an aha moment around that, but I might notice that the intensity of the emotion is diminishing each time I ask the question, and that the experience that it's reflecting as in my life, in a relationship or something, is beginning to turn around. You know, and I never had an aha moment of, oh my God, I am worthy, actually, it was just my life began to agree with that worthiness more and more. It just began to turn around. People began to treat me differently. So the answers might not come in the way that we expect. You might end up recognizing that your life is the answer. Is it really true I'm not good enough? Well, I'm pretty much living in constant peace now. You know, that's a kind of relevant answer, isn't it, there? In a deep way.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I wanted to ask something. I'm just forgetting everything. I don't know. Just it's so peaceful sitting here and just.
That's not a
thank you
bad
so
thing, though,
much.
is it? It's not necessarily
No.
a bad thing. Yeah.
Not a bad thing at all. No, I mean,
And you
it's like
can. Go ahead.
it's like drinking and then forgetting everything after that. Like everything is erased. It feels like that. No need to ask anything. No need to
There's
be or
nothing
anything.
really going on anyway, is there? It
No.
seems like we're having a conversation, you and me.
Yes.
It
Yes.
seems like we've got these bodies here and all of that. It seems like there's a satsang happening, but really underneath all of that, what is actually happening?
Yeah.
And you touch upon this place where nothing has ever occurred and never could, because all of this is just, it seems to be. It's just, it seems to be, isn't it? And it's not actually so. And that kind of question has the power to just bring you back to the emptiness immediately.
Yeah.
And when you're
It feels like childhood. It feels
Say
like
again?
childhood. It feels
Yeah.
like childhood. When I was a kid,
Yeah.
I was used to be in this state of mind where I didn't have to worry or just in the moment. It feels
But
like
now,
that, as if
consciously,
going
now
back
knowing how and why you
consciously.
felt
Yeah,
that way, right? So
exactly.
that you
Yeah,
don't have to lose it ever again.
absolutely.
How,
Yes, yes.
how many bodies come and go now for you? You'll never lose this openness, this emptiness again, because yes, we had it as children, but we didn't realize why, because we weren't believing any thoughts. We weren't trying to get anywhere. We weren't judging ourselves and all of that, were we? We weren't believing in any concepts. We were just excited and exploring our world, our day. And here we are right back at the same place, but conscious of it, so that it's a more and more continuous experience, and eventually completely effortless. I'm just here. I don't know anything else than that. I'm just here. Everything else is from my body and my mind and has nothing to do with me in that way.
Yes.
Lovely. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy it. Yeah. Okay. Anne?
Hi, Helen.
Hi. Excuse me.
I've just had one of those days that pop up randomly. I've had quite a good week. Very happy with no reason to be, sort of thing, and no problems. Very spacious and empty. And then today I just get a day really out of the blue, which seems to be for no reason. And I go into like a black hole. I don't know what name to put on it. I mean, there is fatigue with it, and maybe it is chronic fatigue, I don't know, but there aren't any of the physical ailments except the fatigue and this sense of black hole, or, I mean, I call it death fatigue because it's how I imagine it would feel to be dead but still alive, because there's no interest in, do you know what, I just can't even put it into words. It's just very dark, and there's kind of an amnesia with it of what to do or anything I've ever heard, and any way out, there's no way out.
And the
And
emptiness and the quietness seems like it's never really happened to you. It seems like a different world, and it's
yeah,
like
it is
very
a different. Yeah, it is a different world. It is. That's completely. It's a different. I just blip into this death world, let's say.
So
I did manage to do some statement processes,
yeah,
and I feel that alleviated it somewhat. I did, but then it'd come back, and so I'd do another one. So yeah, I'm going to continue to do that because then it can just disappear. It can come for a few hours, then go, or it can be there for a day. If it lasts
Why
longer
does it-
for a day.
why does
Yeah.
it even have to come? Why does it have to come? Why do you have to lose, seemingly lose, the good place that you were in? What's the idea that's being believed?
This is it, Helen. I just can't. Honestly, I've so gone into that, and I cannot find any reason. I could say maybe it starts with boredom, or it just feels so low energy. You know, there's no life energy.
Let's just zoom back out a little bit. Let's just, for the sake of this conversation, you're in this really lovely place. You're just being the emptiness, and everything's going swimmingly. Why should that have to change? Yeah, and this is, I really want to poke at this belief here that at some point something is going to come to kind of screw up my peace, or something like that. Something's going to happen to kind of disturb my state, my equanimity. And we might not know that we're believing that, but we might keep experiencing it. So
Right.
and the swing between the black hole and where we reach in our highest moment becomes more and more extreme, doesn't it? From heaven to hell in like 30 seconds or less, something like that. And
yeah.
Have you just got to deal with that? Have you just got to let that happen? Are you powerless over it? And I'm just poking at some of the beliefs that came up for me here. Do I have to slide back into my egoic state of consciousness accidentally? Does it have to keep happening that way? Can't I actually stay in heaven, and take up permanent residency there? Or do I have to get thrown out of it seemingly and into this place of like apathy and hopelessness and all of that, where I can't even remember how to climb out of it because I'm so low in vibration? Something, kind of amnesia, like you said. Just ask you to look at those, those kind of ideas. I didn't realize I had those ideas, that truth could only be an experience for me, and it had to come to an end, until I actually experienced it like this over and over again. Up here, everything's wonderful. I can't believe I ever fell for my egoic beliefs. What on earth? How did I ever believe that? And then right down there, where has it gone? I've lost it. Why am I in this state? What have I done to, all of that? And then back up again and down and up and down. Till I finally recognized that I must believe somewhere inside that this has to come to an end. This is an experience rather than a constant state. Truth, something like that. It can't, some idea that it can't really last forever. I can't just be free right now. I'm kind of poking at the beliefs that might be precipitating this, Do you have any control over this? Do you feel powerless over this? What is it that's going on? You just have to ride it out and endure it and hope it comes, you get your peace back tomorrow. Can you feel a sense of disempowerment?
Yeah, that feels like it. Yeah, powerless and ride it out. Hope it comes back tomorrow.
Flying high, and at some point something's going to happen and screw it all up. Some emotion.
Well, I never think like that. No, I don't have those thoughts ever going on.
Not consciously, and this is why you're experiencing it. You see, because whatever we're experiencing is showing us what we haven't recognized. We're still believing. And I had to really look at this for truth to become a constant thing rather than an experience. Yes, that experience lasted longer and longer, but those swings between the two, it just became too much to bear. Absolutely, in that. So why can't you why can't you stay in that high place? Why do you have to fall? Is there any emotion, thought, experience that can have power over you and cause you to feel differently? Is there anything that can happen to your mind, to your body, to your emotions, to your experience, or in your experience that can cause this to come to an end, this experience of truth? What is it that we believe is going to trigger some change of state for you? Can you change your state as a self?
But I
really
don't
important
understand when there's no trigger. There wasn't a trigger. I just wake up feeling like that.
The trigger is unconscious. It's a thought that you're not conscious of still believing. It's a thought that hasn't been challenged yet. It's not
Right.
anymore anything that's happening in your outside world that's triggering it, right?
That's right.
It's now only a thought in here which says, at some point, this will end. And we don't know it's going on here. It's kind of inbred within us programmed within us that truth is an experience, not a constant state. So we keep experiencing that as a reflection. Whatever your experience is showing you what you believe but haven't recognized yet, that remains to be examined. So if we're in and out of peace, in, out, we must somewhere inside believe that this has to come to an end, that you can't just, constantly live in peace, that there's something that can have power over you, some thought, some emotion, something. So there is a trigger, but not in the way that you think. A trigger is this unexamined thought that we don't even know is there until we keep experiencing it. Just like you were experiencing feeling unworthy or feeling unsafe because we were believing that inside. Whatever experience you're having now is showing you what you believe inside there. So does this have to keep happening to you? Are you just kind of, you have to just see this through? I had to really examine this. Can anything disturb this? Can anything bring this to an end? If it is already what I am, and it's not something that I'm getting or I'm becoming, if it is already what I am fundamentally, why should it ever come to an end?
That's the thing, it doesn't feel like an experience normally. It definitely feels like what I am. I definitely know that I am that. It comes
to an end, it's an experience, isn't it? If it stops and starts, it's an experience.
No, because even when that happens today, it hasn't ended. I'm always awake. I've got to be. It's just that.
So why can't you feel that now then? And I'm not my job is to challenge what you're saying, so
no, that's fine. I don't mind
there must
that.
be some sense that you can't feel that now. Can you see that idea in there?
I can now because it came, it came around, the energy. It's like my energy just goes up and then it's okay. It's an energetic thing. So
an energetic thing based on an idea.
Hello, mate. Hello.
Excuse me, sorry. There we go. I think it's an energetic idea based on the sense that something is going to stop you from feeling the way you want to feel. Yeah. I think you're muted there. I'm sorry. I think I muted the wrong person.
Sorry, can you hear me, Helen?
Yep, there we go.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to, I will look at these ideas and look at them outside of it rather than, because when I'm in it, obviously, I just feel powerless.
And there it is right there. I feel powerless to I want to feel the way, I know what's true, but I can't seem to feel that way all the time. Something can stop me feeling that way all the time. How you feel is coming from what you know to be true, or what thought you're entertaining, one or the other. And there's these thoughts in us all that are subtle, but begin to come up at this point to show what needs to be examined, what remains to be examined in that.
Okay, so if it did go into it, I'll just continue to use the statement process like I did today, or
I would
or
question
when
it.
I'm
Question it in between, even, you know.
yeah,
even
that's what I'm
yeah.
that's what I mean. And then in between,
Yeah.
maybe look at that, see if I can do.
For me, there was this one time where I'd started to go back into that place again, and I just suddenly realized that it was a choice. I never realized it was actually a choice. That if I believe it has to come to an end, I'll keep experiencing that. And I just stopped fighting that place. It was like, okay, I'm just going to stop fighting, and I'll just expect to go back to feeling how I wanted to feel. And it worked.
Oh, well, I kind of do that, but it doesn't work immediately.
It's just to
like
examine
I know it'll just click back. I know it will. It always does.
But why
It's
should
just
it
how
take
long-
any time? Why should it take any time for that to occur, you see? These are just the last few thoughts that are going to stop you experiencing constant, effortless peace, love, and joy. They're subtle, but they begin to become problematic towards the end of it all, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I've got to say, it is the worst experience. That black wholeness is the worst.
Yeah.
I can't imagine anything worse.
Not when you tasted heaven, definitely.
No, exactly, yeah. Oh, that's lovely. Thank you, Helen. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. So that's a good place to leave it for this evening. Time has disappeared completely. So thank you very much. Namaste.